Another controversy is brewing in the WNBA, and two of its biggest stars, Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark, are back in the spotlight. And this has to do with Caitlin Clark being confronted over the brouhaha regarding Sophie Cunningham's defensive girls against the boys that are coming into their sports. This apparently has been taken to a new level because the WNBA refs, they appear to be singling out Sophie Cunningham for some abuse. I mean, some controversial questions about what has been going on with all of these women that, about knocking her teeth out because she has suddenly seen stardom. And now Caitlin Clark is being put on the spot. Before we get into the story, please like, share, and comment at the Becker Brief. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now, Caitlin Clark is back in the spotlight, and she was confronted by a reporter over Sophie Cunningham's comments about the trans agenda and about boys playing in girls' sports. Let's take a look.
I think for us, it's not really a discussion we really have in our locker room. I think it's for leagues and the governing bodies to work with their athletes to find solutions, but our focus is on basketball, and that's what we talk about and how we can get wins, and obviously we didn't do that tonight, so we need to find an area to improve in that way.
Do you have any, reaction to the...
I just answered for you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll go over to the Zoom. We'll start with Chloe.
Now, Caitlin Clark, she did not want to hear this question at all. She did not appreciate it, and she shut it down pretty fast. And one reason for that is because Cunningham is becoming a lightning rod in the WNBA, and ESPN has published some very strange articles about her, and she's taking a lot of abuse. She's even being called a racist by The Guardian. They cannot handle the fact that she's spoken out. Now, one thing should be perfectly clear. According to a New York Times poll, 80% of Americans are on Sophie Cunningham's side when it comes to her defense of girls against biological males being in their sports. The ESPN article that lit the fuse on all of this, she basically said that, love it or hate it, she believes that girls should be free from biological males in their sports. She doesn't hate trans athletes or anyone else, and that she's pretty much in the middle. But Caitlin Clark, she has a history of being targeted by the WNBA, and she was forced to back down. She bent the knee to the rage mom, something you don't do, and she issued an apology for her so-called privilege and recognized all of the black female athletes that had reportedly built the sport. And so one of the things that Sophie Cunningham said is, I got a lot of negative feedback about me hating trans. And I'm like, I never once said that. And I think that I'm here to extend love. But I also think that with love is truth, being honest. And I want to protect young girls in a locker room or young girls in sports who shouldn't have to go against biological men. She said, I'm very much in the middle. I agree with things on both sides, disagree with things on both sides. And that's all I've ever said about my political beliefs. But people love to assume. When a reporter tried to back her down, Cunningham refused to waver. And this is a contrast to Caitlin Clark, who said, quote, I definitely have privilege. I'm obviously white, but I think I'm somebody that grew up in a huge fan of this league. I grew up watching the league, going to games, supporting this league, so I know where this league came from. A lot of black women that grew up making this league what it is, that's kind of the shoulders that we stand on. So I think that that was something I'm very thankful for, and they definitely deserve all the credit, and the more we can give credit to them, the better. I'm very aware of that, and I know that, and I think there's responsibility in acknowledging that. Well, Caitlin Clark has been hammered on the basketball court ever since she came into the league. Whether or not she's getting the star treatment or there may be some racialized jealousy behind the abuse is up for interpretation. But an even stronger message may have been sent when the WNBA left her off the Olympic team based on dubious requirements and is not considering her as a strong most valuable player candidate despite impressive numbers. Now, it does appear clear that Cunningham is facing retaliation from the league over non-welcome pushback against the leftist WNBA trans agenda. It comes in the aftermath of a number of bizarre confrontations regarding Cunningham's remarks. So, as you could read at Red State, Jennifer Oliver O'Connell discussed the WNBA's apology over a Seattle Storm co-owner berating two girls wearing XXXY t-shirts in support of Sophie Cunningham's conspicuously missing the point Now, a lot of data suggests that this trans agenda is being culturally driven. It's not a natural phenomenon. And so woke culture is rallying the vanguard to try to protect this trans movement, seen a quintupling of the number of self-identified trans persons in this country in recent years. And I believe that what they really want to do is culturally insulate this. They want to have sports and academia and news media protect this narrative at all costs. So Sophie Cunningham is swimming upstream. She's going against the grain, and Caitlin Clark sees what's happening to her, and she wants no part of it. But weigh in with your own thoughts about this story. We always appreciate hearing from you at the Becker Brief.